It was 6 men of Indostan, to learning much inclined, who went to see the elephant, though all of them were blind, that each by observation might satisfy his mind. The first approached the elephant, and happening to fall against his broad and sturdy side, at once began to bawl, "God bless me, but the elephant is very like a wall." The second, feeling of the tusk, cried, "Ho, what have we here? So very round and smooth and sharp, to me 'tis mighty clear. This wonder of an elephant is very like a spear." The third approached the elephant, and happening to take the squirming trunk within his hands, thus boldly up and spake, "I see," quoth he, "the elephant is very like a snake." The fourth reached out an eager hand, and felt about the knee. "What most this wondrous beast is like is mighty plain to see," quoth he. "'Tis clear enough the elephant is very like a tree." The fifth, who chanced to touch the ear, said, "E'en the blindest man can tell what this resembles most, deny the fact who can. This marvel of an elephant is very like a fan." The sixth no sooner had begun about the beast to grope, than seizing on the swinging tail, which fell within his scope, "I see," quoth he, "the elephant is very like a rope." And so these men of Indostan disputed loud and long, each in his own opinion exceeding stiff and strong, though each was partly in the right, and all were in the wrong. So oft in theologic wars, the disputants, I ween, rail on in utter ignorance of what each other mean, and prate about an elephant not one of them have seen. Let me start this Appendix series by thanking you for joining me and taking a moment to tell you how happy I am to see such an interest in Omnism. I remember when I first learned the term, I immediately thought, yeah, that's me, and it was almost a shock that it was possible to even see religion in that way. Many of us are conditioned to view different religions as incompatible, but of course there are a number of possibilities we must consider. The first possibility, only one religion is right. And second, all religions lead us to the same finality, or many paths to the same mountain peak analogy. 3, religions form a unity, and only this unity provides the right perspective on ultimate truth. 4, progressive revelation is still happening, we don't have all the pieces. 5, all religions are wrong. And turns out it's even possible that more than one can be true even at the same time. So what are we really doing here, and what does it have to do with Omnism? Whenever you start comparing religions, you are engaging in a long tradition of study called comparative religion. It is a systematic breakdown of doctrine, ritual, philosophy, origin, and migration patterns that sometimes emerge but may not exist. The hope is to gain a deeper understanding. Where that ultimately leads you is up to you. The recognition and belief in all religions. What does that mean? Most of us are probably just thinking that we want the violence to stop. We just want to be a good person and live in a peaceful community, and we don't understand why that's so hard, and that's fine. That should, of course, be our goal, but Omnism implies, or rather it asks us the question, is our overall understanding of humanity and ourselves even sufficient as human beings if we don't have at least some understanding of all religions? The history of religion, the history of your religion, the history of your religion's incompatibility with other religions, and the history of those other religions. The important thing to note here is the very real effort to discourage the study of multiple religions, especially in regions where a particular religion is dominant, and to discourage honest debate about religious claims. Because that other option exists. Christianity and Islam each claim to be the only right path to God. For some, the differences are final and incompatible. There's no need to look beneath the surface. So what if religions are not pieces of the same puzzle? For an omnist, or for anyone who's familiar with or has been influenced by multiple sources of information, including science, This idea is needlessly and often willfully narrow and confrontational. Some will say there is bad religion and there is bad science. True religion is good. Bad things happen because false religion is bad, and the same is true of science. Religion isn't able to answer the how questions because that's not its purpose. Faith can't answer questions it was never meant to answer, but we ignore the big picture by completely rejecting religion. The real problem, however, is the many ways in which science and religion reach incompatible conclusions. In the same way we might use the word karma in place of the word consequence, for example, even though we've never studied Hindu and might be using it in a way it wasn't intended, both the words science and religion can be used in ways that distort their definition and make them unrecognizable. It's true that hot air rises if you're standing on Earth. In the vacuum of space, it's not true. So yes, sometimes a thing can be true and untrue. Our perspective has to change because the environment has changed. Likewise, on Earth, there are some things that work and others that don't, and it's because of science that I can say that and you understand what I mean. We don't know everything, and it may be impossible to know for sure in some cases. But does the possibility of more nuance mean science and religion are compatible? It really comes down to how the two are being conceivably reconciled. We all know religions make claims that can't be true, not in the real world. Any fair-minded person knows this. Science and religion reach incompatible conclusions. And here, finally, enters the Omnist. But in what form? Do all world religions form a unity that only then reveals ultimate truth? Or do the various world religions provide alternate paths to the same mountain peak? Can we each pick pieces of different religions that we like and fit them together in our own way? Well, haven't we always done that anyway? What does this ultimate syncretism look like, and why should we expect it to stay the same once defined and established? Because religion isn't just simply morality, or awe at the universe, or an idea to treat people with compassion. Those things are not actually supernatural at all. And maybe that's what Omnism is saying. It's not about using religion to transcend something. It's part of recognizing that certain things transcend religion. So if we're just talking about ethics or the beauty of nature, then why not just say that?
All I know is I just need her. All I know is you just need her. All I know is we just need her. All I know is you just need her.
Running back. Because I'm awfully deceiving. I always say I'm fine, but that's not the true meaning. The walls are caving in and it leaves me with feelings. But the only one that matters is I won't be defeated. They'll keep talking, pray that I lost it. I keep it cool, my attitude stay frosted. And I'm intending to bring a revolution. There are far too many problems, but far few solutions. So let's march towards the hills. Let's march with the dreams to be fulfilled. The pen is letting, I'm making them sign a bill. Letting out the future is hard to me still. And all I know is I just need her. All I know is you just need her. All I know is we just need her. All I
breathe. All I know is you just need to breathe. All I know is we just need to breathe. All I know is you just need to breathe. All I know is I just need to breathe. All I know is you just need to breathe. All I know is we just need to breathe. All I know is you just need to